This is the Ducati Panigale V4S. The first mass-produced four-cylinder motorcycle from Borgo Panigale, a bike which has been closely developed with Ducati's Corse division and tested alongside their MotoGP weapons on Ducati's private tests over the last 2 years. And that's because the V4 was built to bridge the gap between the road-going Panigale and Ducati's MotoGP rocket ship, the Desmosedici. The engine is based on the Desmosedici GP15. It shares the same dimension, the same configuration, a 90-degree V4 rotated backwards by 40 degrees, and also features a counter-rotating crankshaft, just like its MotoGP counterpart. But the stroke is longer, boosting the cubic capacity to 1103cc to extract the mid-range you need for the road. So you have a road-going superbike that now pumps out a staggering 214 horses and 124 Nm of torque. And it is light. In fact, at 195 kgs weight, this is the second lightest superbike which you can buy after the 1299 Panigale Final Edition. And realistically, the only place where you can fathom unleashing this kind of firepower is on a racetrack. And this one happens to be the one where the 2017 MotoGP Championship was decided. Valencia. The Ducati Panigale V4. How was it to ride this monster at Valencia? I think the best way to summarize it would be phenomenal. But the thing which has blown me away, truly blown me away, is how usable and rideable this thing is. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would come to Valencia, a track I've never ridden before, get on a bike as powerful as this, and walk away saying, hey, that was easy. Take into consideration the 1299 Panigale. That bike was mad, so much more torque. It required a rider of very high caliber, to really wrestle it and to really get the most out of it. Ducati have delivered a bike which is incredibly easy to ride, incredibly smooth. The power delivery is very, very linear, very smooth. The throttle is fantastic. At the top, above 9,000, this thing goes like a missile. Ducati got this bike here, arranged for this test here on a track as technical as this, where you are in the second and third gear for so long. But the fact that you can be like this is down to how beautiful that engine is. Also, it's obviously the electronics. The electronics are fantastic. They work completely transparently. And now you also have all the amazing stuff like slide control. And man, it makes you feel like a superstar. The shifter, the auto blicker on this are to die for. They also take into account your lean angle. So especially when you're downshifting into a corner, the shifts are that much smoother. Same with the engine braking. The engine braking is that much smoother to ensure that the bike is stable. This is the longest wheelbase that you will find on any superbike in this segment. You can see why Ducati did it. Mainly, of course, to account for the increase in the power. But also because of the counter-rotating crankshaft which you have in the engine, just like on their MotoGP bike. The counter-rotating crankshaft, it reduces the inertia. It allows the bike to turn a lot easily, a lot quicker. And the feedback from the evolution of the monocoque frame, I mean, you're in sync with whatever's happening with the tire, with the amount of grip available. encourages you to carry a lot of lean to the point that I was scraping the pegs and still the bike was rock steady, and then just on the gas as brutally as possible. And what Ducati have done even further now is in ABS setting 1, you have no ABS at the back, but still have ABS on the front, so you can really trail brake into the corner. This is the first motorcycle in this class which gets a 200/60 section tire as standard. World Superbike spec tires on the road thanks to the Panigale V4. And then you have the phenomenal brakes from Brembo. The M50s were spectacular to start with, and now they're up with the new Stilema calipers, which are lighter, and man, do they perform well. Stopping at over 290 kilometers an hour before braking into the first corner. Not once did I overshoot it. I'm always trying to, push my braking marker further and further. Also really impressed with the suspension. This one, the S model, comes with the all-in semi-active suspension. Zero complaints about the feedback, man. We have had systems in the past where the feedback was consistent. You do not feel the same way entering the same corner. No longer the case with the S. It was very, very precise, very, very consistent, and it always urged you to keep pushing further and further and further, making the most of the tire and the feedback that you're getting from the chassis. There you have it, guys. Those are my very first impressions of the Ducati V4. I know my energy is a little bit low, also because I've been riding for the entire day here and it's been a blast. For me, the V4 is a really, really special motorcycle, mainly because you now finally have a motorcycle which really allows you, it helps you become a better rider with all the technology. Everything just works. It's not just marketing gimmick. For example, the counter rotating shaft, right? It is very, very obvious why it is being used in MotoGP and why it has come down to this bike. It helps with the agility. With such a long wheelbase, the bike still handles really well. It helps keep the wheelie down. Imagine a bike with that much power, that much torque, but rarely did I feel the front end, like really fighting the front end to keep it down. That was no longer the case, because that's what the counter rotating shaft does. It also helps keep the wheelie down, also helps with the braking stability. And the electronics with the new cornering ABS, with the slide control, it really allows you to exploit the full potential of the motorcycle while still being really, really safe. This has set the benchmark for now when it comes to the 2018 Superbikes, and the ball is in the court of everyone else, of all the other manufacturers, to beat this motorcycle. But there you have it, guys. That's me, Sarge, signing off from my very last project here from PowerDrift. It's been a fantastic journey, and I cannot thank you enough for all the support, the entire PD Army, because if it wasn't for your support, I again wouldn't have been here enjoying this beauty here in Valencia. Until then, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for everything. Ciao.